Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we will present about a case study of professional engineer. So my group member consists of myself, Muhammad Alif AIMAN bin Rizal, Muhammad NADZRUL Muhammad IQMAL HARITH bin ABDUL HAFIZ, and Nur FATHIN AMIRAH binti ADNAN.
Electrical Engineering Ethics, the IEE Electrical Engineering Code of Ethics is crucial for electrical engineering, prioritizing integrity and safety over any potential harm.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Alif AIMAN bin Rizal. My matrix number is 211092506. Today I would like to discuss about case study 1. So the code of ethics that I get from this case study is: first, conduct of registered person; second, responsibility to employer, client or profession; third, reputation of a registered engineer not to be injured or attempt to maliciously injure, whether directly or indirectly. So how to solve this problem is: first, ensuring compliance with safety standard and regulation. So we need regularly inspecting transformer to ensure they are properly insulated, grounded and free from defect. Second, conducting risk assessment and mitigation, identifying hazard by recognizing potential hazard. Third, implementing emergency procedure by develop and implement emergency procedure to address potential electrical hazard. Fourth, ensuring regular maintenance and inspection. By regular maintenance and inspection of electrical equipment are vital. Study 2. The code of ethics that we get from this case study is: first, conduct of registered person; second, a registered engineer shall have responsibility to employ client or profession; third, a registered engineer shall not do canvassing, advertising or solicit professional employment by offer, give, solicit or receive, either directly or indirectly. So how to solve this problem is: first, understanding conflict of interest. A conflict of interest arises when an individual's personal interest potentially interfere with their professional responsibility or duties to act in the best interest of an organization. In this case, engineers dual roles present clear conflict because the decisions are made in one capacity. Second, ethical principle and professional standard. Third, duty of loyalty and fiduciary responsibility. By participating in the decision to award a contract to their own firm, engineer A breaches this duty of loyalty. The fourth is the appearance of impropriety. The decision to award the contract to their firm while participating in the board decision making process creates an appearance of impropriety.
My name is Muhammad NADZRUL, matric number 211092017. Today I will present to you about case study number 3. So the question is: identify the areas in which conflict between the resident electrical engineer staff and electrical contractor staff can develop, and give your views as to whether good relation can be achieved without infringing on the code of ethics. Illustrate your answer from your own experience. For the code of ethics, first is professional integrity. Uphold the dignity and reputation of the profession. For example, always adhere to safety standard and best practice. Second one is public interest. Safeguard public safety in all decision and action. For example, ensure all installation meet or exceed electrical codes. The third one is honesty and transparency. Maintain open and honest communication. For example, clearly document and communicate any change or issue promptly. For problem solving, clear communication channel, regular meeting and establish protocols. For example, weekly coordination meeting to align on progress and address concern. Mutual respect and professionalism, acknowledge each other's expertise and constraints. For example, REE staff appreciating contractor practical challenge and vice versa. Next is collaborative problem solving. Work together to find solution. For example, jointly develop, revise, schedule and balance quality, inspection and deadline. Next is ethical adherence and transparency. Be open about conflict and address them ethically. For example, discuss any potential conflict of interest openly. And lastly, training and development. Ongoing training on conflict resolution and ethical standard. For example, workshop on communication and ethical decision making. As for summary, conflict are inevitable. Conflict between REEs and contractors are common in construction projects. Effective strategies: Clear communication, mutual respect, collaboration, transparency, and training are key to resolving conflicts. Ethical compliance. Maintaining ethical standard ensures successful and professional collaboration. Lastly, final thought, proactive and ethical problem solving foster positive relationship and successful project outcome.
Okay, the evidence is to collect the proof of poor work, such as photo, report, and witness the statement. Direct communication is to talk to the engineer, highlight concern, and refer to the ethical guideline, and to keep the record of discussion. Report to the client is if direct communication fail, is to inform the client about the issue. They can require change of hire a different engineer. Report to BM if the problem persists or is serious. Report it to the Board of Engineer of Malaysia to the investigation and the possible discipline action. Maintain the documentation is to keep the detailed record all the action, discussion, and report for legal or regulatory purpose. Continuous monitoring of the project progress allow for the successful implementation of corrective action and ensure the adherence to professional standard and prevent the project integrity as the commitment to the long-term quality assured throughout the project's life cycle. And for the client decision, if the client demand to the engineer perform the unacceptable, they will reserve the right to terminate the contract to the safeguard the project quality, but they may also demand specific improvement to uphold the professional standard.
So next is case study number 5. The question is, every electrical engineer shall at all times to order his conduct as to uphold the dignity and reputation of his profession, and to safeguard the public interest in matters of safety and hearing and others. He shall exercise his professional skills and judgment to the best of his abilities in discharging his professionalism responsibilities. He shall also act with firmness and integrity towards all persons with whom he works with. Discuss your responsibilities and obligation in the event that due to the substation building under charge, adjacent building have been damaged beyond repair. For the code of ethics, honesty and accountability. Acknowledge problem and take responsibility. For example, immediately admit fault and inform all affected parties. Next is public safety. Prioritize safety in all decision and action. For example, ensure all installation and repairs meet safety standard. Next is open communication. Maintain transparent and honest communication. For example, keep all stakeholders informed about action and progress. Lastly is professional integrity. Uphold the professional's dignity by taking decisive action to prevent further harm. For example, implement safety measures immediately and comply with all regulation. For problem solving, clear communication channel, establish regular meeting and clear communication protocol. For example, weekly coordination, meeting and discuss progress and address concern. Next is mutual respect and professionalism. Foster a culture of respect and acknowledge each party expertise. For example, appreciate the contractor practical challenge and the REE adherence to standard. Next is collaborative problem solving. Work together to find effective solution. For example, jointly develop revised schedule that balance inspection and deadline. Next is ethical adherence and transparency. Maintain openness and adhere strictly to ethical standard. Example, discuss potential conflict of interest openly and address them promptly. Lastly is training and development. Provide ongoing training on conflict resolution and professional conduct. For example, conduct workshop on effective communication and ethical decision making. As for summary, conflicts are common. Disputes between REEs and contractor are frequent but can be resolved. Key strategies, essential approach include clear communication, mutual respect, collaboration, transparency, and ongoing training. Ethical standard. Upholding ethical standard is crucial for successful on professional collaboration. As conclusion, addressing issues proactively and ethically builds positive relationship and ensure project success. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hello, Assalamualaikum dan selamat sejahtera. Today I'm going to explain about my case, which is case study 6. So, the case study 6 is a professional engineer in electrical engineering should be allowed to practice as consultants and as contractor at the same time. Do you agree with this statement? If so, give your reason objectively for supporting it. If not, also give reason for opposing it. So the code of ethics that involved in this case is honesty and integrity. Engineers must act with honesty and integrity in all professional matters, ensuring transparency and truthfulness in their interactions with clients and the public. Second is impartiality and fairness. Engineers should provide impartial and unbiased advice, avoiding conflicts of interest that could compromise their professional judgment. The problem solving that we need for this case is comprehensive skill applications. Allowing engineers to practice as both consultants and contractors can enable them to apply their skills more comprehensively. They can offer a full range of services from planning and design to implementation and construction. This integration can lead to more coherent and efficient project execution. Second is enhanced accountability. When the same entity is responsible for both design and construction phases, accountability is heightened and the contractor consultant is fully accountable for the entire project, which can reduce instances of miscommunications and finger pointing between separate entities. The next case is case study 7. Case study 7 is about under normal circumstances, a consulting electrical engineer should not supplant the work of another consulting electrical engineer after knowing that the first consulting engineer has already been entrusted with the work. If he has been asked by the same client to take over the work of the first consulting engineer, what am I think should be the proper procedure in effecting discharge of consultants? So, the code of ethics involved in this case is facilitate payment resolution. Act as a mediator to facilitate the resolution of the unpaid fees. Encourage the client to fulfill their financial obligations to the first engineer promptly. The new engineer can offer to assist in ensuring that the first engineer receives payment. Next is ethical considerations. Respect the first engineer's right and ensure that ethical standards are maintained. It is unethical to take over a project without addressing the legitimate concern of the first engineer. And next and the last code is legal advice. Advise the client to seek legal advice if necessary to resolve the payment dispute. Legal intervention may be required if the parties cannot come to an agreement on their own. So, the problem solving involved in this case is: first, we have to verify the client's request. Confirm in writing the client's request for a change in consultants and ensure that the reasons for the change are clearly documented and that the client understands the implications of such a transition. Next, notify the first engineer. Inform the first consulting engineer of the client's request. This notification should be done formally. And then the last one is professional courtesy. Exercise professional courtesy by contacting the first engineer directly to discuss the situation. This conversation should be respectful and aim at understanding any underlying issues. Thank you.
Responsibility, due diligence, review the design, carefully review all the previous design and document, understand the requirement, know the project needs, client requirement and the budget and condition. Assessment validation, ensure all the compliance, verify design meets electrical standard and codes. Technical review to check the load calculation, circuit design and equipment selection. Safety and reliability is to ensure the design is safe, reliable and efficient. Communication, client contact to keep on communication with the client about design flaw or concern. Get approval, explain and get all the approval for any change, and coordinate with the stakeholder, work with architect, engineer and contractor to ensure change can be accepted. The previous engineering responsibility, accuracy and compliance is to calculate, to ensure all the loads, fault, current and voltage drop calculation are accurate. Component specification, to specify the appropriate and compliant electrical component. For the drawing is to create a clear and precise electrical layout drawing and schematic to complete the documentation. design report is to provide the clear report explaining the design decision. Specification is to include all the detailed material and equipment specification. As build drawing is to provide the final drawing if applicable.
That's all from our group. Thank you.